All right. Hello, wildlings. Welcome back to Wild Whimsy, your one-stop shop for try-it-yourself projects. I am Deedles, and this is Faye.
I'm Faye.
We're here to discuss the wrapping up of our candle making experience.
Yes.
So in most scenario, it was our standard, first gear to fifth gear.
Yep. Yes. Yes, because we don't go any other way.
Nope. So we're here to share our final thoughts on that particular project and maybe some ideas moving forward.
Right. Did we want to do our show and tell?
Oh, of course. Always want to show and tell. Yeah. Just a moment.
Hang on a second. Let me get our show and tell pieces there, which some are hilarious.
Right. So as you remember, we did pouring methods and we've done dipping methods, and then we did adding fragrance and then adding items such as dried flowers and things to the, so different things that you can do.
Don't mind me. There we go.
Yeah, different containers. We talked about different containers and giving them as gifts or starting your own business. I mean, it's candle making is 5,000 years old, when it had its ups and downs throughout history and made a comeback in the 80s, which that's fascinating to me. It's super funny.
Right. But yeah, so I think we first attempted pouring.
So
we did a couple things here. And we did one with color, one without. The one without is a little creamy because we did overheat the wax. So if your wax is smoking and smells funny, it's probably too hot. So with the purple one, we added a Crayola crayon to it to add color. And we had started over with fresh wax so the color wouldn't be tinted in the wrong direction. So, but all in all, I think those turned out really well.
Yeah, the pouring it's super easy. It's the tried and true for most candle makers. It is a pour, even up to the big manufacturers. It's a pouring thing. You have melted wax. You put 8 ounces of wax into a jar and let it dry.
Yeah. Pretty simple. I would say one of the easiest things that we did.
Yeah, so. Colors or, So I like adding the colors. This, again, one of my favorite methods is the Crayola crayon, just because Crayola melts well and the colors are vibrant.
Yeah. And then we did the little red one. We had a silicone mold.
Great color.
So that came out really good. That's with a store-bought dye that we did, and that was experimental because there was 0 directions on how much to add, what we were doing. And then also we had never used silicone molds before, so that was a learning experience.
That was super. Very weird. I was weirded out. I didn't think. I thought they might melt. Putting them in a plastic mold or something. But no, it was. Handled it well. I'm pretty sure it's specially made for that purpose. I come from the metal background or the cardboard tubes kind of crafty world on the candle making. So I didn't know you could use a rubber/plastic type item.
And then with the silicone, the red one came out. It has little bubble pits in it. There's probably can't see those very well, but we didn't realize that I didn't anyways realize that there's bubbles in wax.
Yep.
They kind of rise up as they go. So once again, didn't know that. So on some secondary molds I tapped the sides of the silicone, and the candles seem to come out without those pits and those air bubbles.
Much better, like a really pretty finish. We were impressed by that, and we're like, oh, that's all we had to do is like treat it like a cake,
Right.
bang it on the counter and call it a day, right?
Yeah.
Getting the air bubbles out.
Yeah, of course, we don't want to bang too hard because then, you got hot wax going everywhere. So
that was, I remember us doing that, and that was really fun, just kind of flicking the side and watching the sides,
watching the bubbles come up and stuff like that. Yeah. And then, so we did a couple more molded candles, same shape, the balls, because we wanted to try and put pressed flowers into our candles.
Yes, and fragrance.
Yeah, and fragrance. So I didn't bring no, those are fragranced.
Yes.
So the balls are fragranced, and they have the flowers on the sides.
Pretty flowers.
And we tried 2 different techniques for that. One was pouring wax on, a piece of board. We should have had parchment paper, but we forgot the parchment paper.
Yes.
So I had a poster board that has a waxy side. So I poured wax on that and sprinkled the flowers in it, rolled my candle around in it, and then dipped the candle really fast and let it dry on the little glass. That seemed to work pretty well. And then Dee
had a more aggressive approach, as I tend to do. And I just put the dried rose petals and flowers and stuff on the paper. No wax, nothing. Just rolled it and smushed it in there, just like raw as best as I could. And then I dipped it slower than I should have, but I dipped it and then, let it dry. So during that process, we learned it's quick in the hot, slow in the drying. As part of our So I guess it segues to our dipping experience.
It does segue to our dipping experience, which was quite interesting.
So fun. I had never had so much fun.
Yeah, I have not dipped candles since I was probably 8 years old at church school. So, how much do I remember of that? Not much. I know that we dipped candles.
Right.
That was about the extent of it. So, and I don't think you have ever.
I've never done it.
You've never done it.
Never done it. I watched a few videos in my research. It's called research.
Right. So, our results are fairly interesting. We tried 2 different methods. One was putting, we had heavy D-rings, and so we just tied heavy D-rings onto the end of the strings. And then
traditionally done with nuts. You get some hardware nuts from the hardware store.
And then we tried a bull clip.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So
I was under the, my brain went, if the weight is holding the 2 ends of the string down and you're holding the center, it should create the 2 candles. The same.
Yes.
So
well, okay. Do you want to do the show and tell?
Okay. So, our dipping it was so much fun, though. I can't. This is the one with the D-rings on the edge. Yeah. And so you can tell that it started to build up like a standard taper. We learned that where you have the hot wax should be a taller container, so you can do the longer thing. This is especially where we learned that quick in the hot and longer in the cold. So it was dipped from hot wax to cold water, and it took a while to build up. But once it started catching on the D's and stuff, and so now you have your truck balls.
Truck balls, yeah. And then
this one was with the bolt clip.
That's mine.
And it is like
it looks like a sloth hanging from a tree.
So you can see again, it started to build up that nice taper look. But
it looks like hairy arms and a sloth head and maybe some back hind legs. But yeah, so I'm going to put Google eyes on mine.
So cute. And so that was our dipping experience. And I know candle makers out there, especially if they do they make the tapers in that manner, are cringing. They cringe
right.
the
They're
whole
probably
time.
horrified at this point.
Like, let's go show them how to do that right, because no.
So yeah, so if we happen to get any comments about like what the actual is that, we know,
right? We know.
We know. We will still take your comments, because at that point it's just hilarious.
It was. I think yes. I think that was more fun. I think it was fun because we'd never done. I've never done it. She had done it prior to, but not in this manner. And so I think that's what made it hilarious and fun.
Right. Yeah.
Was that it was like, we started off with, dip it in, take our time, and then it was like this mad dash to get wax on the thing, and then oh my god, it was just
especially in the beginning. It's like, is it happening? Is it happening? Oh my gosh! And it's like, I don't know if this is happening right.
And it was messy, so it was fun. And so for me, creating things, as long as it's messy, you're having fun, And so I think we had a blast. With all of it, from the learning about it, and learning, the history of it, and then kind of, taking that and, destroying it and having our answers just like, what are you doing?
And them probably going, it's not as hard as it looks.
And we made it 10 times harder than it needed to be. That's for sure.
And then I did like, you had a tip on how to smooth out the wax and the hard edges, which is just taking a paper towel and rubbing it over the hard edges and things, which I thought was interesting, because you really don't need any heat or anything like that. It's just really the warmth from your finger and the paper towel going over it to smooth
just makes it a nice clean edges and things. That's what I learned in the factory, was like, endless stock in paper towels and because we did pillars too, we also had heavy, I like part of my favorite thing was taking them out of the molds and using the chop saw to chop them down to size, and then making them shine and being able to, that was a nice batch, and sending out the candles for the rest of the production, which is packaging and stickering and all that stuff. I don't know, it was super fun.
I'm definitely not smoothing out my sloth.
No,
because the bumps add the character, and it looks like fur on his arms. So he's just two
of the coolest dipped candle thingies I've ever.
Right.
Maybe one of the things we can do is make holders for them. Right. So that now we can hang them on the wall.
I'm just going to do a tree holder for mine. He's going to be hanging from a branch. That you can just hang from the back of somebody's truck.
I could sell them as birthday candles.
Right.
You can stick them on top of the kick.
Right.
Go for it.
Oh my gosh. It's too much.
It was fun. And I think having the patience and the right setup would get you some really cool hand-dipped candles. And some really cool, again, our pillared stuff.
I like the stuff in the glass
did
jars.
really well. We've also created some nice label stuff to put on afterwards, where my concern lies in putting the label on first with glue, and then having the wax just melt that off. So a lot of the jars that I have recycled, so baby food jars and any kind of little even makeup jars and things like that. Jars, right? Like just
jars
can be recycled and reused. And so I made, I have nice labels and stuff for the rest of our pours, and we'll give them away as gifts this time. And hopefully, one day we'll have them for sale on our website.
Right.
Because we had so much fun making them.
Absolutely.
One of the thoughts I had was to, later to auction off all our first. It's been a couple of years when we look back to be like.
And then we did the fragrance candles. I touched on that a little bit. And I think we learned about how much fragrance to add to a candle a little bit. That's experimental as well.
Super.
Same with the dye. It was kind of like we're like guessing.
Yep.
And some of it that we did, I think it was the spice ones that we did, we were like, whoa, this is out of this world when it was melted. But when it hardened, it actually smells like a normal.
Yeah, it isn't potent.
It's not as potent. Yeah.
Noticing, that when the fragrance is nice and toasty, it's pretty strong.
Yeah.
It's pretty strong. And then if it the fragrance, I think it was the rose for me, was when we did the rose, the fragrance in the hot wax was the like spot on, smelled like roses. It was beautiful. Yeah. And then it dried, and then now it smells like soap. Like clean, it's a lovely clean smell.
It's a lovely clean
but it
smell.
Is not. It's not right.
Right. It's with a hint of rose. Now that it's
Maybe if it's burning and it has that, that's what goes into the air and it's that warm smell. Yeah. Then we don't know. We haven't done the burn tests and things like that with it yet.
Right. Yeah. So, but yeah, I do. This is probably my favorite.
It is very cool. It came out really nice.
Everything that we did.
This one came out with a lot more of the leaves and stuff from the flowers. And I really enjoy that it's not smooth edges and things like, mine isn't either. But it, again, is a little weird.
I think yours is a little bit smoother because of your method of just pressing and rolling and crushing it in the flower pieces into the candle before dipping it. Yeah. So I think that yours is smoother than mine. Mine, I just rolled it around in the crumbs. So.
I know, but it still came out cool because you poured the wax down onto the paper first, and then so you had that extra layer of glue, quote unquote glue. Yeah. And so it did a great job, but
it was really interesting. My sloth, I'm never going to burn it. So
right? It's totally decorative now, forever. Yeah. It's so cute and awesome. And it came out. I don't think I don't know if we could replicate that.
No.
That would be something.
No.
We had talked about in the future experimenting with mold making.
Oh, yes.
And doing our own thing in that arena. Yeah. As well as, experimenting with the fragrance stuff.
The fragrance stuff.
And going, I want to light the candle and have it smell like grass when it's burning. Well, what combination of essences makes that happen for you? Right? Yeah. Because fresh cut grass is one of those smells that is just, it's divine.
It's perfect in the springtime. It is. In the springtime, fresh cut grass is.
And something for people with allergies to enjoy. They could be like, that's what fresh cut grass smells like without allergies.
Without allergies and sneezing excessively and stuff. Yeah. And here's Caboose again.
Oh, yes. Hi, Caboose. Our shop pupper. Studio dog. Can't have that.
I think the other thing, we were going to experiment with the different types of waxes, like the paraffin, the beeswax. We know how soy acts now. Yep. And seeing if heat temperatures make a difference between the paraffin. Can you burn the paraffin like you did the soy at the same?
I bet probably, you anything you can end up burning it all.
Depending on, what heat temperature we use and that sort of thing.
Right.
So, so I think wrapping up candles for now.
Absolutely, and I mean, again, super fun. Something I remember, as a kid, but also something that really, really, if you want to, could really, make you some money. I mean, it's still a very popular thing, and especially with the crazy sculpting and weird ways that people can do candles. I suggest looking it up. It's some really cool, layered candles, and then they cut them and they come out and they turn into a flower, and they just do all these really cool sculpting things with wax, and it's just really neat. Yeah. And then your standard builds, just really cool.
Yep.
Something that, I'd never done the dipped, and then I never done the silicone molds. And so we're excited to experiment further with those items and especially with creating our own molds and stuff and making our own sculptures out of wax.
Yep. So make sure that you like and subscribe to find out about more candle making and other projects that we're working on. And comments. Always open to comments. If you have ideas.
love to learn some
Yep.
always love to learn. So if you have
Yep.
ideas on things we should explore next, I think we're going to be moving into the weird world of mosaics.
Yes.
Sorry, mosaics.
So
for those of
excited
you who
about
pronounce it proper, my mom calls it a mosaic. So we're going to call it that. We might even call her up and get some advice. That'll be fun.
That'll be fun. Super excited about that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, we're going to move on to the next thing. And until then, stay wild.